I want to get in Neelu Vyas, who's a senior journalist, and our viewers must have definitely seen her on Truth Be Told, her show where she gets some of the biggest newsmakers of the day. Good afternoon, ma'am. Haryana, the biggest surprise. What do you have to say? How have these things turned?
Haryana is a big surprise in terms of the fact that nobody was expecting that, BJP will micromanage the election to that level. Now, why I'm saying this as micromanagement is that even the Congress didn't seem to have a whiff of what was actually how BJP was trying to conduct itself. I can say it with guarantee that initially BJP almost had lost the Haryana elections. But in the last leg, now what has been done needs to be understood by the audience. Now, say, for example, I'll just go point-wise as to how BJP has tried to micromanage. Now, some people would call this micromanagement as stealing of the mandate. Now, what the latest story is coming from the Congress camp is that Jairam Ramesh is saying that Election Commission has tried to slow down the data. They are not updating the figures. And that is what has really made the contest tight. Now, we still do not know because the Congress control room, and I was just speaking to Pawan Khera just a short while back on the phone, and he said that, from our control room, 11, 12 rounds of counting are over. But if you look at the Election Commission data, they have not updated it. So if they are not updating it, so this looks like a deliberate game to put pressure on the administration because they will go on a panic mode. They will do things wrongly. And then, BJP will try and take mileage out of it. But apart from what Pawan Khera and the Congress is saying, now what has BJP done? A clever strategy by BJP, which apparently Congress mustn't have thought of. Now, what all did they do in the last, in the leg? Now, look at 5th of October when the polling was happening. What did BJP do? BJP initiated the payment of Kisan Samman Nidhi. Now, that's an important thing. Election Commission was quiet on it. Election Commission didn't ask BJP as to why they initiated the payment of the Kisan Samman Nidhi. Now, what has that payment of Kisan Samman Nidhi done? It divided the farmer votes. It divided the Jat votes. So this is a clever strategy. They did it at the central level that, look, nobody will question the Kisan Samman Nidhi. And obviously, we have an election commission which is mute, which will not speak. And that is what election commission hasn't done. That is point number one. Now, this needs to be understood very, very carefully as to why Congress is leveling these allegations and what this micromanagement strategy of BJP has been. So the point number one is, of course, the payment of the Kisan Samman Nidhi, which ends up dividing the farmers and the Jat votes. Second, how the independents have been helped. Independents have been sponsored by the BJP. Now, what has happened? In many cases, wherever Congress has pitched a candidate of a particular caste, BJP has fielded candidates of similar caste and not one like, the proxies, many candidates of a similar caste. So that, has helped the independents. And that is why people are saying that, there are many independents in the electoral fray in Haryana and who will ultimately end up helping BJP. That is point number two. Point number three, of course, is the allegations against the Election Commission. The Election Commission had got an opportunity to, come out of that image that it's a mute spectator, it doesn't speak, and it's subservient to the central government. But Election Commission again has not proven itself, and it has slowed down the counting. It's not updating the data, and as I told you, that they are trying to put pressure on the administration, and this is what Congress has been saying. Now, the Congress media groups, what the story coming out of there is that they are going to file a memorandum. I was just looking at the tweet of Jairam Ramesh, and Jairam Ramesh, in fact, has said that in just about 5 to 8 minutes from now, they are filing a memorandum, and and he's basically saying that there is no need to be disheartened. The game is not over, and mind games are being played. So one has to wait and watch that if at all this is a mind game being played in connivance with the Election Commission. And Jairam Ramesh also has said that we will not deter. There is no need to be disheartened, and we are going to get the mandate. Congress is going to form the government. In fact, a short while back, I was listening to Bhupender Singh Hooda, and he was also pretty confident that the Congress will form the government. So a lot of things are, moving, and mind game, of course, is there. Then the administration is being used. There is a micromanagement strategy which has been put in place. But, if you look at the large picture, Shubham, all these things, if you accumulate all these factors, this really has made the Haryana election a tight contest. And if you look at the after 6 rounds of election commission counting, if you look at the vote share of the independents, that is 18%. So that's a phenomenal figure, and which is why people are saying that this election now might go down the wire. So you never know how things will unfold. But clearly, there are multiple factors at play. BJP, which was not initially in the race, I spoke to many of the BJP leaders myself, and they had given up on Haryana. But now, in the last 5 days or the 5-6 days, they are back in the reckoning with a clever, smart strategy by Amit Shah, by several strategists of the BJP. And if you look at the BJP headquarters in the morning till 9 o'clock, it looked like a desolate office. There was not even a single soul who was seen at the BJP office. But now they are all back fluttering, and now JP Nadda has called for a meeting of all the general secretaries in the evening. So basically, where people thought that BJP is not there at all, BJP has brought this contest as a tight contest. Now, we still cannot say who's going to form the government. Now, look at the figures which are on your screen.
Yes, these are the JNK numbers. Congress plus is at 52, Congress NC. Yes. If you can just have the Haryana numbers back, that's going to be a photo finish that will decide. It will go right down to the wire. But what I want to understand is, even we had a lot of discussions with several experts, leaders, and like you said, all of them had the same opinion that it looks extremely difficult, to say the least, for the Bharatiya Janta Party. So effectively, are you saying that within 5 days, this just changed the picture completely in favor of the BJP, and the Congress perhaps was in a way caught napping with whatever happened in the last few days?
Look at Amit Malviya's tweet. Amit Malviya says that, that belt where Rahul Gandhi went on a Sankalp Yatra, that has not yielded results, and that there also it's a tight contest. So what BJP has done, BJP has put in multiple factors, and you will have to give credit to the BJP that even when they are losing, they don't give up. That is the spirit, and you will have to give credit to the BJP for the simple reason that they are an electoral machinery, and no matter, even if they are losing the battle, they don't give up easily. And Haryana is a clear case of that. And Haryana almost is turning out like Chhattisgarh if you look at it very carefully. All the reporters, all the pollsters who went, and they said that Chhattisgarh would be won by Congress very, very easily. And here exactly is the replay of what we saw in Chhattisgarh. And very smart strategy of through Kisan Samman Nidhi, they divided the farmer votes, despite all the sentiments being against the farmers. Farmers, they were totally against BJP, but having put the Kisan Samman Nidhi on the day of the polling, it raises questions on the election commission. But then again, since the election commission is not speaking up, it would be seen as a smart move by the BJP. They've managed to divide the farmer votes. Independents, they've sponsored. They realized that, independence was a huge block this time, and they found an opportunity. They tapped into them. So this is like Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed. You try everything under your belt, and this is what BJP has done. I think BJP really has made this contest into a tight corner contest because of their micromanagement. And micromanagement, one may call it dishonesty, one may call it the help of the election commission. There are different synonyms to that, and attaching a morality to it, I don't know. I mean, how do you say that? Because the election commission hasn't been speaking much, but we will have to counter in the fact that election commission is not a neutral election commission. It works. It seemingly works under the directions of the central government, and this is exactly what is being pointed out by the Congress when they are saying that they will go and file a complaint. They are filing a memorandum. The election commission data not being updated. Now look at the fact that 8 a.m. the counting started, and right now, as we are going live, it's about 12:26. And if the opposition party is complaining that the election commission data is going very slow, they've not updated their data. So which means that there is something definitely wrong. Either they are doing it as a strategy to put pressure on the administration, to keep people in a desperate mode, to keep the parties on the tenterhooks. Maybe this is a strategy which the political parties are adopting. I mean, from the morality angle, if you say it's not right, but then that's happening, and that's the reality of today's election in India. Yes, Shubham.
Yes, I know we're running short on time. I'll just have 2 more questions before we let you go. First is, I think once that switch happened post 9 a.m., where 9 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. was sort of the golden window for the BJP, and things really turned. One immediate thought that struck me was the exit polls. What we are seeing right now is exactly the reverse of what the exit polls had projected. Like the Lok Sabha, Haryana, they said a sweep for the Congress, and at the moment 12:27 p.m. 35 is where the Congress stands, and the BJP is at 48. For J&K, the exit polls are predicted that, of course, the Congress NC alliance has their nose slightly ahead, but it's going to be a tight finish. What we are seeing right now is that Jammu and Kashmir more or less seems like a settled deal. I think the latest numbers are 52 is where the Congress NC alliance stands, and Haryana is where all eyes, sort of all resorts, everything is now is sort of in high demand in Haryana. So what does it mean for the exit polls? Getting the numbers wrong once again. Credibility at stake? Question marks. What do you say?
Of course, but if you ask me personally, this is my individual opinion, that we better not have exit polls in this country now anymore. Because exit polls, they just keep your emotional quotient very, very high. But it's a futile exercise now. Why are we having exit polls at all? Now, look at what happened with the exit polls during the Lok Sabha elections. And this time also, they tried to project a semblance of, some reason and logic. And they tried to project that, okay, they've gone through the data very carefully, and they've used a larger sample size as compared to the Lok Sabha elections. So they tried to do whatever they could, but ultimately, what is the use of the of an exit poll? What are we doing with the exit poll, except that the media channels, they go crazy that evening that, okay, after the polling we are having exit polls. But individually, if you ask me, there is no need of exit polls. We should just do away with the exit polls. It is an unnecessary exercise, which really is not lending too much of credence. In fact, the comparisons being made with the data which currently is coming out and what the exit polls have portrayed is simply a total mismatch. So it's a futile exercise, if you ask me individually, and I'm taking responsibility that this is my individual opinion, that just shut shop as far as the exit polls are concerned. We don't require the exit polls. Let's just have the polling done. Then on the result day, let's face whatever is coming. There is actually no need. But then, what are the compulsions? And there are compelling reasons why media companies get these exit polls. And there are several other reasons. During the Lok Sabha, it was a central ruling government which is trying to drive the markets through the exit polls. So it's a whole industry. But I think it's a futile thing. But yes, for this time, Haryana is a big surprise as far as the exit polls are concerned, because every exit poll had said that Congress is forming the government. And if this is the figure, what we are seeing in Haryana and on the screen, Congress is ahead in 35, BJP is 48. So if this is the kind of difference which we are seeing, JJP has not opened its account, INLD 2 and AAP has also not opened its account. So this is really a big surprise, and also big question marks on the exit polls, Shubha.
On the exit polls and the dancing and the tears. One final word on Jammu and Kashmir. Congress, NC, seems to be in a position to form the government. What sort of government are we looking at in the future? Because there's a lieutenant governor, there are powers that have been given to the LG, raising question marks on what is left of the state government. There was, of course, the engineer Rashid's factor, the independence. 8 is what others are at currently at 50, but I think with 52, the Congress and the National Conference is sitting pretty at the moment. But what sort of a government, ma'am, are we looking at when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir, given all of that we've seen play out in the last month or so?
There is no doubt in the fact that there'll be an India Alliance government in Jammu and Kashmir. But you ask me that what kind of a government will it be? I think the challenges for Jammu and Kashmir begin from here on, because there you have a Delhi model of governance which is going to be worse than what we are seeing in Delhi. That is what all the experts have been saying, because here now, if there is an India Alliance government, and which in all likelihood will be formed in Jammu and Kashmir, so whoever the chief minister is going to have a hard time with the LG, given the fact that now you have the transactional business rules changed, and give more powers to the LG. So the LG will ensure that the ruling government doesn't get enough breathing space. They are not able to transact too much of business, and they end up looking like a failure. And then, LG and the center will together get an opportunity that, look, this is what we were saying. BJP gives you better governance. And so this is what's going to happen. So the sailing is not going to be very smooth for the Abdullahs and the Congress in Jammu and Kashmir. But let's wait and watch, because, a lot of things are at stakes. There are too many players when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir. There are non-state actors, there are official actors over there, there are opposition parties, there's too much of international focus on Jammu and Kashmir. So ultimately, at the end of the day, whether it is the India Alliance or whether it is BJP, they have to project before the world that at least there is normal governance in Kashmir. Kashmir is back to normalcy. So I think all the players will have to get together and prove that at the end of 10 years, if we've been able to have an election, so they will have to show that, the governance also should happen. But will it happen? There is a big question mark on it, given the kind of experience which we have seen in Delhi, the kind of powers given to the LG. I have my doubts that, if at all Omar Abdullah is all set to become the chief minister, I don't think he's going to have a very easy going with the center. So lots of challenges there. But yes, it's a big victory for the people of Kashmir. And at the end of the day, they are looking at a good governance. They are looking at the delivery. And can it happen can India Alliance deliver? So that's a big question, because if the LG doesn't allow the government of the day to function, then obviously there'll be clashes, there'll be fireworks. So it's not going to be a very stable government we are looking at.
Right. So interesting times ahead as far as J&K is concerned. Neelu ma'am, thank you so much for joining us for this live, and our viewers will see you at 8 o'clock with a thorough discussion as to what's in store.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.